Well, hey, hi, Glenn here, workshop at the Gardens. Yeah, long time overdue. We're gonna pull a rack, a package, whatever you want to call it, out of the solar kiln. It has sanitized, believe it or not, because it's been in here so long. But no, we had a nice little stretch of high temperatures. I will try to record something in there, and we were up over 150 degrees inside the solar kiln. We can check right now. The cool thing that I like to use is a little thing by SensorPush, and right inside, and it's the reading right here. Easy to see if I go back. This is the kiln. It's sitting at, there we go, 113 degrees. If I tap on that one and I can go to the week, you can see we were maxed out up there at 155 degrees. When I have the solar kiln closed up, meaning the vents aren't open, I'm not too concerned about the relative humidity. I did take the Wagner meter in there, and we were reading between 5 and 7 on the moisture. So we're gonna pull this one out. Let's open it up. Okay, looking inside, it's a nice mixture of some ash, some black walnut, and then I just noticed I have a birch board in here, which is kind of cool because it's got some pretty freaking amazing curl. This is all gonna end up in some charcuterie boards real quick here. Let's just take a look at a couple of things. Here is the SensorPush. That's the little guy that I just set in there, and I do the read from that. The thing, I don't know how I want to. The one thing to remember is it's all averages in this whole thing for that I'm going for. You want to check out a video. I have a bigger video on how the whole solar kiln. I'll put a link up on a card. I'll also put a link in the first description. Talks about all this stuff. I will point out right here, these are snowplow springs, and they are still nice and tight. When I put this package in, I had these stretched out as far as they could go, probably 3/4 of an inch gap in there. And then something to notice is that these are completely loose. So even though this wood was fairly dry when it went in, she dried out a lot more. So even this side, you can just see that they're loose, but yet the springs are still tight. So I'm giving that a thumbs up. I'm gonna stick with that. I'll probably order a couple more. So next time, not next time because I don't have them today, we're gonna load the kiln again. In the future, I'll probably try to put 4 spring-loaded ones on the whole rack. But we'll get this one out of here. Okay, we made it into the workshop. That's a nice looking rack of wood, that's for sure. I do have help here. Every now and then I get somebody. The Eagle Eye, the Big D comes in and helps, and Aiden and a handful of others, Rick, all those guys. But the majority of the time I'm doing this stuff by myself. And yeah, these skids get a little bit heavy to push, and it's not so much that they're heavy to push, it's like when the wheels aren't all lined up and moving in the same way, and you got to get all of them, you know what I'm talking about. But it's in here. We do have air conditioning in here, so that helps with humidity, especially on warm days. Humidity for the workers as well, you know that. We're gonna get another rack ready to go and put back in the kiln. Always keep it full. Okay. Alright, you can see those springs. I transferred them over from the other rack, the other slab skids. Slab skids, these are the things that I make, different sizes. Couple videos, put one up there, and maybe in the description look for the slab skids so you get the idea about the system. But springs are nice and tight. This one is a 36, so there's a little bit more in here, so I can go up to, that last one was like 64 inches and was maxing out the height of the kiln, so I'm only at 60 inches here, so it'll slide in a little bit better and get the baffling in place. But this has been cut for over a year, drying outside, so it will not take forever. So I'm hoping that we'll get another load out of this before the holidays. So charcuterie stock for the holidays. Let's do it. Okay, I got that package ready to go, as you already know. A couple things we need to do inside the solar kiln. First thing is, I have the doors up here that need to be opened. It was kind of a pain to close them last time. I didn't get the latches all the way done, but those need to be opened up. Fans, interesting to see the amount of stuff on the fans. Just dust, which you would think in an enclosed system there wouldn't be that much, but as I open up the vents, that's not that closed. Look at that, bug time. Interesting. Tape doesn't hold. And then the other thing I'm going to do is just blow this out. So we'll be ready to load this one. The wires that operate the fan, all of that is in that video I talked about in the solar kiln. I'm going to blow this out and load that package. Alright, we dropped the baffles down, put a little baffle there, and then we'll set the SensorPush right there, and that'll just help. Alright, we're ready to close this one up. That's gonna do it for this one. Closing it up's pretty simple. Appreciate you following along. If you have any questions, make sure you check the other videos, because I answer just a ton of them in those other videos. But if you watch the other videos and you still have a question, put a comment down there and I will get to it. It's just busy time of year here. So It's always busy. I will make sure that I put those up before we close it up. But that's gonna do it. Thanks for following along. Glenn here, workshop at the Gardens. Cheers.